Now we're live, but there's usually a delay.
Don't see it.
There was like a minute delay before, so give it a moment. Let's see here.
Maybe you have to go to just the channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Live, right there.
Hooray!
One watching.
Jeannie and Ann's Art Hour. There was like a minute delay before. Okay. There was like a minute delay before. So give it a moment. Well, can you mute?
Yeah, let's turn the volume down, everybody. One person who's watching. Will it tell us who's watching?
It might be us who's watching. It might be you. You're the one watching, I think.
It said that one person was watching before I even.
I don't know if it counts the original viewer.
Live chat, all messages.
Beep.
Hello, everybody.
Are you linking it to Facebook?
Please join us. Oh, I should probably share this. How do I share it?
Let's see.
There we go.
Part 1 of the video, us checking our phones to figure out how to do things. I'll just mute mine.
To the...
Okay, and this way I can see the chat.
Okay.
Very gently lean it on this thing and hope for the best. Okay. You got it?
No.
No? It won't share?
It's automatically going to my personal page and not the Innovations page.
We could just link the YouTube channel on Facebook. Because that should be the first thing that they see is live. 1 concurrent viewers. And I've got the chat up, so hopefully they'll see if people start talking at it. Welcome to the Ann and Jeannie Figure Out Technology Hour.
Just when we got the hang of
Facebook. Yeah,
Facebook
things are
Live.
going too smoothly, so time to try a new thing.
Please comment
Hello
to let us know that you are viewing.
Yes, hello to all our
viewers. We will get started when... Oh, Jancy's here. Hi.
We got a student. It counts as a class.
Okay, here we go. I can see. Join us now.
Jancy, do you have watercolors and watercolor supplies? Because today we're talking about watercolor techniques. If you've got watercolor pencils, that works also. Though I believe we sent home these palettes also. Yeah. Also, how is the sound quality? Can you hear us okay? We're using a different setup. Are we too loud?
Excellent connection.
Oh, good.
The screen says.
Yes. I wonder if you can edit streams after the fact to just cut out this whole beginning part where we're just like, how do phone?
Here she has watercolor.
Excellent.
Paint palette.
Excellent. Today we're going to show some fun things. So let's see other materials that might be cool if you have them around the house. If you got some, if you have a ruler is useful. Pencil, useful, always useful. A big brush, if you have a big brush. I think the kits just came with a little one, but a big brush is good.
We have large grain salt.
Yeah, so if you any fancy, like, I think they call it like pink Himalayan salt or whatever, sea salt. It's basically just big fragments of salt. I don't know
I actually went through the process of.
if you can see how big the grains are on it. It works better. That, or if you have a salt grinder.
I ground the salt and then I sifted it.
Yeah.
To get the big grains out. Because it works better.
Yep. We're using rubbing alcohol, also known as isopropyl alcohol. There is quite a delay, so I can't see if this is on the camera or not, but
if you have a white or yellow crayon, that will be used for wax resist.
Or those oil pastels, right? Although
yeah, these work best.
The crayons, yeah. Cotton swabs.
Cotton.
Or Q-tips.
Balls and Q-tips.
Straw.
Straw for another technique.
Yeah.
So water, of course, for we're going to do wet on wet.
And these things, I think we sent some of these home also. So if you have the little
pipettes.
Yes. And we'll probably repeat all this in a minute if we get some more students in. But for now, so you can start gathering supplies up.
I brought forks too.
Forks. Ooh. So we can eat our painting.
Well, you could do a scratching technique.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then the watercolor goes into it.
Yeah, I figured. I didn't really want to ask people to go get sewing needles.
No, that's fair. I mean, I think forks is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably also use your watercolor pencils to like dig in there.
3 people. Who else is on here?
Yes, chime in if you are watching.
We'll probably get started in
5 minutes maybe?
Yeah,
12,
just
10?
to make sure some more people.
Since we're doing a slight change of venue.
Yes, not everybody is used to tuning into the new Mains'l distance learning channel.
Yes, so if you are following our other YouTube channel, we're switching our stuff over to, we teamed up with 7th Street. So this is what the Mains'l distance learning channel is. Which is cool, because then you can see stuff by 7th Street too. They do music and they do a bunch of cool art tutorials also. The other day, Michael was drawing a guinea pig, so I was very happy.
They have gardening on there.
The zoo report. They've got all kinds of fun stuff. So, with our powers combined, you guys should subscribe to this channel instead. Like and subscribe and ring the bell or whatever it is they say in YouTube videos. Oh, that snail's gotten so big.
Oh, you should do the snail report.
The snail report? I keep meaning to, like, I keep taking video of them because, like, the little sparkling gouramis had a bunch of babies, so I've got some video of that, the different babies and stuff. And then I've got the new snails in here roaming around. So maybe I'll do some science videos being like, snails! Why are snails great? Here are the reasons. They have slime. Their body is a head, a torso, and a foot. People would look real weird if they looked like that.
Jancy, did you watch the art video on the history of watercolor?
Oh, there's the other baby.
Oh, tell everybody your good news about the fish tank, the tank report.
The fish tank reports?
Yeah.
There's a brand new batch of babies, and I see like the previous batch. There's like a teenager fish lurking back there also. So yeah, we got some babies. I'll post. Maybe cobble together a video.
Oh, I see the little guys.
Yeah.
In the back.
Yeah. They're much more noticeably fish shaped than the other ones who look like teeny tiny tadpoles at the moment. But I got video of all of them. And these are the little sparkling gouramis. They're the little ones that have a little sparkly blue, and they croak sometimes.
How is Fjord snail doing?
Well, we have 4 of him now. Well, okay, there's two Fords and 2 purple-looking ones. So if you guys want to choose names for the purple snails, I have a hunch for what that name will be. No. What was the no to? Oh, to the art video? That's okay. I mean, you should watch it though. I don't know, I'm gesturing at my phone. Watch the history of watercolor. There you go. Dice. Are you guys doing the paper craft dice project? Because you should. Because soon there will be giant dice you can roll for the characters' games.
5 people. Who's on here? Tell us who you are. Let us know you're watching.
Yep. Oh, it says top chat. Can I sort it by? No, hopefully it goes in order.
I think you click the little doohickeys.
And it'll change it to.
Some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible if you do top chat. So you do live chat.
Yeah. How do I? Oh, it is. It says to live chat. Never mind.
Oh, we're down to 4.
We scared him off.
Oh man.
It's all that fish talk.
Or maybe it was because I asked them to
Watch the watercolor. Oh, that's right. They went to go watch the watercolor video. Good.
No, I asked them to tell us who they were.
Oh.
Maybe I scared them off. You don't have to tell us who you are, but
Yep.
it would be nice if you said hello.
Yep. Also, that way, if you need us to repeat something, then go ahead and tell us in the text. We're trying to be really good about watching the comments.
So I am gonna start by taping off the paper.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use
Ruler?
the ruler. Will you?
I will use a
So
ruler.
do you want to, how many techniques do you want to try today? Do you want to try 8 techniques or 10 techniques?
I mean, 10 techniques sounds good to me.
10
so I
techniques.
make 10 grids?
Yes.
All right.
10 is.
Then I'm going to split mine in half, I
Oh,
guess.
or we could do 9, because then we could do 3, 3, and 3
Okay, that works.
on the page.
9.
How's that? 9?
Also, how did I guess that one of the purple snails would be named Molly Mock? It's good. It's a good purple, too. I'll take a picture of them. Let's see. 9. All right, so you guys can divide your paper up however you want, but we're making basically 9 spaces for 9 different techniques. So I'm using my ruler to just basically.
And I'm going to use tape.
Divide up a page. 1, 2, 3. Not gonna be perfect. That's okay. So I've got 3 very large grids on the side, but I've got 9 grids. Oh, you're using Scotch tape.
No, this is.
It's like transparent masking tape.
It's it's.
So this camera
It's supposed to be for watercolor. We'll see how well it works.
We're testing. This camera is not as great, so I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if you guys can see. I have separated my page into 9 squares. You can use tape, you can use a ruler, you can just freehand draw some squares on there, but you want to leave big spaces so that they can, or make big squares so you have room to see the different technique.
I'm gonna do a combo.
Combo?
So yeah. Okay. Down to 3. We were up to 6. Now we're down to 3.
Well, that's all right. People might be just hopping in and out as they figure stuff out. Let me check the Facebook to make sure people are able to get over here okay from that. Let's get over here.
So these will be 9 techniques of watercolor. Once you have your sections sectioned off, you can label them first if you like, or you can label them as you go. I think I will go ahead and label each section of what we will do. The first one I will do wet on wet. Next will be wet on dry. This one will be dry brush.
Sorry, just saw the other purple snail name.
This will be salt technique.
Okay.
Because salt technique and the alcohol technique will be, they're wet. I'm gonna do alcohol down here.
How?
We can use wax, resist, ooh. So wet on wet is also called a wash.
Wet/wash. My handwriting. Your
What
handwriting is so
happened?
nice.
Did we stop?
No, we're still going.
Is it you trying to sign in?
Oh, is it doing something?
Are you watching?
I'm watching, but I've been watching. I just had it minimized before. I guess we'll find out if it cuts out in just a moment. Well, if we're starting from there, though, it should still work.
Yeah,
So
it's asking me if I'm trying to sign in.
it could be somebody else is trying to sign in on the
Oh.
account. I don't know.
Okay, that was weird. So wax resist, dry brush. We have wet on wet, which is also called a wash.
Mhm.
So we'll use one color for that. And then over here, we'll do a variated wash. We'll do cotton swab. And then straw.
Straw? Okay. Perfect. That'll be fun.
That is 9 techniques. Up to 5. Who's on board?
Yep.
Say hi.
So if just to recap the various materials we're using, we've got our watercolor palettes, we got pencils to write down that stuff with, Q-tips, straws, salts, rubbing alcohol, crayons, white crayons, right? White or yellow?
White or yellow.
Yep. Or the
the
oil
best.
pastels if you don't have crayons,
If
but
you-
the crayons work better
If you use yellow crayon, please do not use yellow paint.
because then it will all look the same. Use a different color. Yeah, and we're just learning, and forks, something to scratch with. Well, we can play with that on,
you can
maybe in the
play
wet
around.
wash. One of the, yeah.
Okay, so we will get started on the wet on wet. And what you want to do is you want to fill your brush with water and fill that whole square with water.
We're using these nice big brushes, but if you have just a little brush too, you just get it. Same thing. It's just easier with the big brush. Get it nice and wet.
So once you have that, you're going to make a wash. Try to make it as even as possible. Choose one color. I will choose blue for mine.
Are you using the same brush?
And I'm going to get the color wet. And then I'm going to fill it in. And this is what a wash looks like.
Oh, am I using your? I'm sorry.
Oh, you can.
I double
It's
dipped.
fine. Not a problem at all.
Use the smaller brush. Oh no! Coloring outside the lines.
I'm getting messages from people.
And this is a nice way to make a really smooth, even layer of color, because the color wants to spread out to wherever the water is. you can kind of go back and distribute it nicely. Get a nice. And the bigger the brush you have, the easier it is to have it smooth, but yeah.
So that is wet on wet. For the next part is wet on dry. So you want to wet your brush, get wet paint. I'll use green this time. And this is wet on dry. Don't worry if your paint gets into the other paint. So as you can see, it's a little bit lighter. Oh, yours is a lot darker.
I did mine very intensely.
Oh, okay.
But it's also like you can see that the edges are very sharp. It's not smoothing out. The color kind of stays where it is because it doesn't have the wet background to spread out on. So I'm getting too dry with it. So for me,
Alright.
it came out less smooth. Oh, yours is nice and smooth though.
So the next one is going to be dry brush. I'm going to get a new brush. It's a dry brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in wet paint. So I'll use the blue again. And I'm going to dry it up because you don't want it to be too wet. And this is what dry brush does. It adds texture.
You can actually see the texture of the paper through it.
Yes.
This is also if you ever do mini painting, there's a technique called dry brushing where you're just hitting the raised edges of whatever you're painting. Yep, that's too wet. Too wet. There we go. Eek. Can you guys see what we're doing okay? Should we stop and like hold our papers up to the camera on occasion? This camera's not nearly as good as the phone cameras, ironically.
So before we get to the salt technique, I'd like us to work on variated wash because a variated wash is just like a wash. If you could see what's happened here, how the two colors have bled together, that's what you're going to do. It's how you really accomplish a sunset. So you're gonna wet, you're gonna wet your square. It's gonna be a wet on wet technique. And you're going to choose two colors, and because I'd like to do a sunset type image, I will do, or you could choose more than two colors, you could choose three colors. So I will choose.
Just make sure they're colors that will blend nicely with each other,
Yes.
ideally.
I will choose an orange for the bottom. Then yellow's kind of muddy, but that's all right. Then I will do yellow next, and they will blend together. And then for the top, I guess it looks more like a sunrise. I will do the blue. Make sure they overlap. So I put a little too much water because it's pooling right here, but you could move. This is where this comes in handy. Soak up some extra stuff. You can pull your paper like this and watch the colors bleed into each other. There you go. That's a variated wash. And that's pretty good. Okay.
Are we going? Sorry, are we going too fast for you guys?
It says 6 people are watching you, but only Jancy is letting us know she is here.
Let us know if you want us to slow down or if you want us to explain further how we did something. And again, there's a little bit of a delay, so I apologize if it takes a while for us to see.
Okay.
Alright.
So now let's get to the salt technique.
Okay.
Because you can do a wash or you could do a variated wash. And then when we get to the end of this whole thing, once the salt it's dry, we'll be able to see what has happened. So what will happen with the salt is the salt soaks up the pigment in the paint and the water, and it will leave like little white marks. So let's try that. Do my water on my page first. I'm going to use some purple this time. And I'm actually going to drop it in this time. Do that. And then I'll use some orange. I don't know why, but I love orange and purple together. I do know why, because they're complements.
Yeah, they're fun. I also like blue and orange together because of that near complement that looks really fun.
Okay, so there's, oh, I'll add some.
Like, wait, no, blue and orange are
blue
and orange are complements. Purple and orange are near complements.
Purple and yellow are complements.
Yeah. They look pretty together, that's the point. Let's see.
Okay, so I've done that. Kind of looks like a little tie-dye when you drop in the paint. And now while the paint is wet, I'm going to drop in the salt. And you can see when it's chunky salt, you can see it happening right before your eyes. This is what it will look like when it's wet. And as it dries, after it dries, we'll wipe away the salt and we'll show you what that does. But we have to let it dry.
Okay, salt. No, it's fun just watching it work. I'm a little worried that people are talking to us and we're just not seeing it.
I talk.
There is a lag on the video,
Yeah, we do know that.
like substantial.
Like a minute or like longer.
It was like 25 seconds.
Okay.
I noticed when you showed the picture,
Yeah.
and then it just showed that on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use the yellow so you can see what I'm drawing on the wax resist. And so I'm going to draw some flowers.
Oh, Alex, or Sinclair, yes.
Hi, Sinclair.
Yeesh.
Are you going to use the yellow?
I'll use yellow.
Okay. I'll use a yellow here and a white over here so you can see the difference. And I'll just draw the same.
I'm just doing fun patterns. The other white on this side. Oh, I cannot see what I'm doing with the white. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery, even to me. Okay.
Okay, so once you have your wax resist on the page,
Yeah,
I
can
guess
you
I'll
show the camera?
you can see the yellow, but you cannot see the white on mine. And again, you can do a wash, however you want. You can do wet on dry, or you can do a dry brush. I'm going to use a different color, red.
What color will I do? Blue. I like this blue. What's up, art masters? Sinclair, do you have a watercolor kit? You should go ahead and grab it because we're doing watercolor techniques today.
So here is the wet with the wax resist.
The white works really well.
Mhm.
I think I did too much water on mine. Eh, dab up some of that extra. Let's see if I can show mine. Hard to tell. And again, like the crayons work the best, but if you have oil pastels and you don't have crayons, the oil pastels will also do kind of a similar technique because they're oil based, so they will resist the water.
Okay, alcohol technique, whose favorite is this? Mine.
Same. Yep.
I'm going to turn my page around so people can see what I'm doing this time.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
So alcohol technique I will be doing right here. Again, this is a wet on wet. You can do wet on wet, let it dry in one color, and then once it's dry, if you place another color on top of it and then do the alcohol technique, the color beneath it will come up through the
For the alcohol?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, but I'm just gonna do a wet on wet technique like usual.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop in color. Green. The more wet it is, the more it will spread.
Getting some of the blue.
Green and
Red.
red. Okay. I will take my pipette, get some alcohol, and just drop it, and that creates a wonderful tie-dye effect. And as long as you let your painting dry, you can do this with as many layers as possible, and each time you layer it, the color underneath will poke through.
Oh, I read that really dark. So do you let it dry between, or you just go ahead and add the next color and then do the alcohol?
No, you have to let it dry.
Okay. So we're
I
doing.
mean, you can do as like I did, like
Oh, I see.
it'll move the color into each other.
Yeah, let me try that. Yeah.
I like using the pipettes because generally if you use a paintbrush with the alcohol and you touch the paper with the paintbrush and the alcohol, it will leave a darker mark onto the paper, and I don't generally care for that. Ooh, look at
It looks like
ants.
a geode or like some kind of mineral formation.
Mhm.
It's cool. Yep. Hey, it worked really well there. That's fun. I like it. I may overuse it. Okay. Science
And art.
and art. Do we know why it pushes the color like that? The science behind it. Or is it magic?
I think it's because the alcohol is kind of like a resistive.
It doesn't want to absorb the color, so anything that it touches just pushes out.
Have you ever done the science project with whole milk and food coloring with dish soap?
What's it? What does it do?
It's amazing.
It's
is
amazing.
what it does. Maybe we'll do science and art. Are you guys willing to try that?
Do a science and art project.
Let us know.
Yep.
The whole milk,
That could be another.
food coloring, and dish soap.
That could be another class. Art, science, arts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Conan would be on it too.
Yeah, there's all kinds of art and science, like the shaving cream with food coloring. If you put food coloring in shaving cream and then you swirl it and you put your paper on it, it'll
Oh,
pull
you
up.
can lift it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Fun.
Let us know if you want a science and art class. Okay, the next is cotton swab. If you don't have a cotton swab or ball, you can use a Kleenex or a Q-tip. And this is like purpose of lifting
Paper
the
towel,
paint. So making clouds is ideal with this. That's what I will do.
Ooh. Let's make a
Again, I will
Okay.
do, I think I'm going to do kind of a wet on dry this time.
Alright.
No, well, yeah, wet. That's pretty intense. So mine is a wet on dry. And what I will do with the cotton ball, I want to make clouds. So I'm going to take the cotton ball and just kind of circle. And what happens is the cotton swab pulls the paint up from the paper, leaving a lighter mark. Now the Q-tips, similar, but you can get a little bit more detailed with it. To me, I don't think it works as well.
Using the Q-tip. Let's see.
But I think that it just depends on what you like.
I think it's
I like
probably
the
good for
cotton
like
swab.
little like. So you do the cotton swab for the big stuff, and then if you need little sharp details, maybe go in with the Q-tip. I think I needed to make mine darker in the first place. Hey guys, let us know what you think of this YouTube format also. I know we've been doing this on Facebook, but hopefully it's as easy and convenient to use as Facebook was. But we're trying some stuff out. Very nice clouds.
Okay.
Just gonna try that again. But like dark so that people can actually see it.
I'm gonna pick my straw. The next I'm gonna do a straw technique.
It's fun. I think actually the straw plus alcohol would be have you ever tried that? Oh, that could be cool. Do put the rubbing alcohol in and then blow it around with the straw.
Oh yeah. We'll have to play around with that.
Okay. Try it again. You can go to the next one if you want. I'm slow.
It's okay.
How are we doing time wise? Oh, we still got like 20 minutes left.
So for the straw technique, I'm going to do different lines on the paper of different colors. And you want them to be wet. Remember, this is watercolor. So here's one line right here. And then what I'll do is I'll use the straw.
Wow.
Almost got Ann that time. So there's one layer. I'll try another color. Wet. You can add more water to your line of paint. And here we go.
That's pretty.
You want to kind of blow sharply to get those lines. I will use green next.
I'm just making a mess. Making a mess.
Messes are the best.
Messes are the bestest.
These art messes are the bestest.
Yep. Can you really call it art if you're not making a little bit of a mess?
There we go.
Mine's invading another section.
Yep, so is mine. I'm just gonna go with it.
Add some other colors.
So there is the straw technique.
It's fun. You can make some really cool, very organic. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. You can make like trees, corals. You know, like it kind of looks like rain coming down a window. All kinds of really cool patterns doing it that way. It's also a really fun way to mix colors. No, need more. Does anybody have any questions or comments so far? Please comment so we know that it's working. Even if the comment is just hi. Yeah. This is where having tape would probably be good. It keeps the boundaries
Well, mine went over my
protected.
tape. I think it makes it fun.
Yeah. Eh, whatever. Eh, it's fun.
I like it.
Yep. Cool.
Show them
Oh, yes.
how different yours is than mine. So yes, you can try to control how you're blowing the paint, or you could just do what I did and let it go crazy.
Mhm.
Now the salt technique is not dry enough to be able to take the salt off. So if you've done the salt technique, please let it dry all the way before brushing off your salt, and you'll see how it turns out. Now just for fun, I think this is dry enough,
The alcohol?
the alcohol one, so
Okay.
I'm gonna try another color over that. Hopefully it's dry enough.
I really like. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna try, let's see, I'm gonna try brown. Again, I'm gonna wet it. I'm gonna put a little bit of a muted color over.
What do I want to try?
And then I will try the alcohol again. Oops, I already had alcohol in there.
I want to do that green.
And see how the colors from beneath the brown shine through, and then it makes darker images surrounding that where you put the alcohol.
This might be a terrible idea. We're gonna go for it. All right. It's interesting how it makes a little ring on the inside too.
Mhm.
It's like the color that gets trapped is forced to the center.
I think it actually depends on how you're doing it,
Mhm.
because you're
I'm like dropping it very.
so and you're touching the tip
Am I?
to it. See how it's different when you touch the tip.
I'm just letting it drip though.
Are you?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think because it is a very straight up and down the way I'm doing it, it's still doing that thing where it traps it. Yeah, see, as far as we can see, nobody's commenting, which is, I suspect, is
Except
not
for
actually. Well,
Sinclair and Jancy.
the thing is that normally they respond to stuff like that, so I'm guessing that we're having a issue with the chat. See, I don't know how to change it though, so. Unless you guys are commenting on the Facebook post instead, but that'd be silly. I don't know. Oh yes. So,
Well, anyways, this was 9 techniques for watercolor.
Yep.
Let's play around. The more you play around, the more control you will gain with the paint and the water.
do you think we have time for one more technique?
Sure. What technique would you like
Maybe
to try?
we could try doing the scratching.
Oh,
like
scratching into maybe on
on one of these.
yeah, one of them that.
Yeah.
So let's try the scratching technique.
So we're gonna grab our plastic forks.
We're gonna make a groove.
Mhm.
You want to be
Press pretty strong.
I'm gonna make hatching.
Ooh. Trying to make like waves, but I can't see what I did last time. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to show this to the camera. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but oh, it says it helps keep up with you guys because I can pause the video and it gives me time to catch up. Oh, very good. That is good to know.
So I am going over my grid that I made with a darker color. See how this works. I have actually not tried this technique before.
I don't think I have either, so this will be a science experiment. Live science.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So basically what happens is the color is getting trapped in the grooves that we made. And you can even, go back and pick up.
I bet you it would be good on a dry brush type technique. If you did the grooves and then you went over with a dry brush.
Oh yeah, because then it would only pick up. Wait, which one was it? Is that my phone buzzing?
No,
not
it's
a good
mine.
time. Basically,
yours work?
anytime you dig into the paper, it'll make a groove that kind of traps the color into it, so it gets extra condensed where the lines are.
Mine are very faint.
You can kind of see some swirlies.
Yeah, I can
Here,
see
let me
yours.
if I can dab.
Wonder if they'll turn out better once it's dry.
Ooh, except I tried swooping it off and I swooped all of them, so that was a mistake. Don't swoop them off. Yeah, it might be once they're dry they will become more pronounced.
Trial and error. Now I've done this technique with acrylic paints.
The grooves?
Like after putting a layer of acrylic paint and then putting grooves in, letting it dry, and then going over with new paint like we did in our...
Oh yeah, in the texture class, or the impasto.
Impasto?
It just makes me hungry. Think of pasta.
Well, there you have it, folks. Mine works better once I start wiping it away. So I think it's a better technique for dry brush.
Mine, I think, is not deep enough because when I wipe it away, it just picks up everything.
Yeah, my rice. Oh, so the salt technique, you guys, I just want to let you know, you can do the same thing with rice.
Oh,
So
really?
you could do white. Yeah, because
rice
what it acts is just it
absorbs
soaks
it.
up, absorbent.
But does that work with any kind of rice, or does it have to be like common, like white rice?
I've only ever used white rice, so I don't know.
I mean, I imagine all rice probably acts similar, so interesting. Well, does anybody have any questions, comments? Do you want more technique videos like this? Let us know. Sometimes it's fun to just see different ways to play with your mediums. I really like the droppers.
I like what's happened there.
Yeah. It's making its own
So
cloud.
that's the best thing about watercolor is the water.
Mhm.
Because I like some people like to control the watercolor. I don't. I like the unpredictability of it. So I like to work wet when I use watercolor.
I want to try.
However, I've done portraits of people, and knowing how to control it works very well in that situation.
Oh, I'm picking the color up somehow. I want to try using rubbing alcohol with the straw. Science. Alright. I don't actually know if this will work in retrospect. Whatever. It's the water actually skips over it. It's cool. It soaks into the paper pretty quickly, so maybe not. Maybe you'd have to like load it into the straw, and that seems dangerous, so maybe not. Well, it was worth a shot. Play
Well,
with watercolors. It's
yeah.
a good idea. You never know what your materials can do until you try it.
Yeah, practice. Do some experiments at home with various things. Whether you're using a stencil or tape, a leaf, there are not just 9 techniques to this. There are hundreds of techniques you can use. You can stamp a leaf into a wet paint, let it dry, and pull the leaf off.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll have
That
the
will work.
leaf pattern left behind.
Yes. Same thing with flowers. You can do wet on wet and then place flowers, face down onto it, let it dry, and then lift them up again at the end when it's dry. So lots and lots of techniques.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left.
I say just
play.
play around.
Yep.
You could play on top of what you've already done. I'm going to, I want to try this technique again.
Okay. Yeah, we'll maybe try that with dry brush.
Yeah.
I bet that would be really interesting with dry brush. Good
It's
job.
not nice. Let's see. Maybe you do need like a, I don't know, something that's gonna score the paper
Deeper
better. Yeah.
than the fork.
Did not work for me.
Mm.
I might not be patient enough for that. No.
Well,
I think, oh, yours worked.
that one works.
Yeah.
But the yellow did not for some reason.
I think that concludes what we've done for today.
We'll be so.
Let us know your thoughts,
Yep.
and if you're interested in seeing a little bit of science and art.
Maybe we can do some fun classes with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna, for the time being, keep trying to use YouTube. So it'll be the same thing next week. We'll probably post a link on Facebook, but
Yes.
it'll be on this YouTube channel. And like I said, if you like watching any of these videos, you should subscribe because there's a bunch of fun videos going up from both programs. basically most days or every day.
All right, until then, this is Ann and Jeannie signing off.
Goodbye.
How do we
Oh,
sign?
you're like,
Hey, we gotta run around the computer.